All right, Aman Sharma joins me live from the newsroom with more inputs and context on that news story. Aman, even during his Independence Day speech, which he delivered from the ramparts of the Red Fort, Prime Minister Modi emphasized on the need for an Atmanirbhar Bharat, for self-reliance, and perhaps it is this very self-reliance, whether in the trade sector or in sectors like defense, that is also rattling the United States.
Well, it seems so clearly, Akanksha. If you listen to the Prime Minister today, his buzzwords are made in India, make it for the world. You know, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Swadeshi. That is what he's stressing on again and again. And, he also replied in a way to Donald Trump when he said that not only we will protect our, our farmers, our dairy fishermen, our poultry sector, we will also protect our MSMEs, our small industries. We will ensure no harm comes to them. And one country is following a policy of, economic selfishness, but we will protect our vulnerable sectors from the same. So this is a very, very clear message to Donald Trump that you may impose 25% plus 25% tariffs from August 28th, 27th, but India will stand steadfast and not succumb to this bullying. But let's see what the Prime Minister spoke today. I think a very important statement that he made, that India has the twin gift of democracy as well as demography. So any company, any global company which ties up with India is in a win-win situation. He's citing the example of Suzuki, saying Suzuki is a company, is a Japanese company which came and set shop in India in 2012. I, as the Chief Minister, Mr. Modi said, gave them land in Gujarat. And today, Suzuki is manufacturing in India and exporting cars to Japan. It is in fact the car that has been unveiled by the Prime Minister today of Suzuki. This electric vehicle is going to get imported to 100 countries. So the Prime Minister is saying the new motto is, make in India, make for the world. EVs will be driven across the world with the label made in India. That is the victory of India, and that is our model of attracting global companies worldwide. In fact, he has said all states should compete to get this foreign investment. I don't care what kind of foreign investment comes. It comes in dollars, it comes in pounds. But we want this foreign investment. We want companies to come and set shop in India. Let the states compete amongst themselves. Let them attract companies. Let them set up policies. Why not? Why just Gujarat? Even other states should vie to get this foreign investment. So I think the Prime Minister making a very, very important point. Also very clearly saying that when it comes to battery cell manufacturing, which is the most important component of electric vehicles, the Prime Minister is saying till a few years back, all these batteries were imported from abroad, but today we are setting up a plant in Gujarat where 3 Japanese companies are going to collaborate and make battery electrodes in India. This is also going to be a big step in self-sufficiency and also making electrical vehicles affordable. If you make batteries here, of course, you will pay less for the batteries. Vehicles become more affordable for the common man. So I think this is what the Prime Minister is saying. Also very significant, Akanksha, and you would weigh in on that maybe, that how just before his visit to Japan, the Prime Minister is underlining the strong relations between India and Japan, going back to years, when Japan was one of the most important partner countries in vibrant Gujarat when he was the Chief Minister. Today, Suzuki is a big success story in Gujarat. So Prime Minister also choosing to underline that before he goes to Japan.
So, a host of messages, in fact, being delivered by Prime Minister over there in Gujarat today. Of course, as you eloquently highlighted, the strong partnership that, and a time-tested one that we've shared with Japan being one. But equally and more importantly, perhaps, the emphasis on BEVs or even the introduction of e-Vitara, the advanced battery production. What is the larger messaging behind when he's emphasized on how, say a vehicle like e-Vitara, which had a global premiere in Europe, is now come all the way to India?
Well, exactly, Akanksha, and that is what the Prime Minister describing it as a new chapter in Made in India, Make for the World. He's saying that in India, we have the twin gift, as I've explained, of demography as well as democracy. Companies love working. Suzuki has, adopted India as almost like a second home. The way its production is 7.5 lakh cars produced annually at this particular plant in Gujarat, which came up in 2012 after the Gujarat government gave them land. So the Prime Minister clearly saying that today, Suzuki stands as a testament to India-Japan strong relations and India's and especially Gujarat's policy of being very, very investor friendly. He's asking other states to also join this race, not be left behind. He said, why should other states get left behind? They should vie for this competition.
I'm so sorry to leave it at that. Many thanks to you, Aman, for sharing those inputs with us. Also joined in by Ambassador Deepak Vora. Many thanks to you, Ambassador. Pleasure as always to have you on CNN News 18. But to begin with, what is your assessment of this emphasis on Prime Minister's message as far as self-reliance is concerned? Atmanirbhar Bharat or even Make in India? Is it this very self-reliance that's riling up the US economy, given that we are now number 3 in the world?
Thank you very much, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ambassador, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, let me just tell you that I'm in a magnificent part of India called Leh, and I've been sitting with His Holiness the Dalai Lama and listening to him. So your phone call comes at a very opportune moment. We were talking, incidentally, with the whole group of Buddhist Lamas here about Atmanirbhar Bharat.
All right.
And His Holiness said, this is the right thing to do. Ma'am, let me put it to you like this. There used to be a long ago Bollywood film, I don't know if you remember it, you're too young probably, I'm 74, called Albert Pinto Ko Gussa Kyun Aata Hai? And I'm going to make a sequel, Donald Trump Ko Pagalpan Ka Daura Kyun Padta Hai? He is upset that we are not bowing down before him. Donald Trump would be a young in the mid-60s when India was on the verge of starvation and we begged the United States for food aid. They even said new Indian leader comes begging when Mrs. Gandhi went there, 9 and 11 million tons we imported. Now that was in his mind, I believe it still is, the India that he thinks he's dealing with, not realizing that the present India has 80 million tons of food grains in reserve. It can feed the whole world for several years. This riles him enormously, that India is moving away, looking inwards and trying to do what it should have done long ago, become self-reliant, not remain reliant on anybody. So he's talked of Suzuki. There are many such examples. Most of the iPhones, for example, that are sold in the United States are now made in India. This upsets Trump, man. When he talks about strategic partnership with any country, not just India, it basically means come kneel before me and say, "Hail Trump, you are the new Maharaja." We don't do that. India is just too large, too proud. We are too not arrogant. We are just very, very, very sure of our capability. And I think this he doesn't like. Therefore, what the Prime Minister has said, man, it resonates in his heart. That yes, we are not going to be dependent. We've been dependent for 200 years. We were a colony. Following our independence, we were still very dependent. Now, we have seen what dependence leads us to. It's actually a compromise on sovereignty.
Right.
And that's what
Ambassador, just a word on the additional tariffs which are all set to come into effect on 27th of August. Several critics have said that the pressure tactics are not going to work this time around, but because they did during the previous Trump administration, especially in case of Iran and in case of Venezuela when it came to our dealings with regards to crude, that is perhaps what gave Donald Trump an upper hand. How do you respond to that?
I would respond to that very clearly. At that point of time, what we did, the situation was different. This was you're talking about Trump 1.0,
yes,
which was not so long ago. But ma'am, excuse me, you can extend that argument by saying that what India did in 1745, that should have been different, etc. The reality is that with Venezuela and Iran, and I was involved in that, by the way, we took a decision that it wasn't worth the while at that point of time, given our burgeoning relationship with the United States, to upset the apple cart. Today it's different. I don't care. I'm becoming more and more self-reliant in energy. I'm buying from different sources. So if one guy gets upset, it's too bad for him. It's going to hurt him. I've done it once. It doesn't mean I'll do it always, ma'am. So these critics probably have their own reasons for saying it. Or if they're criticizing Trump, they are doing the right thing. Because you can't expect us to follow a policy, the same policy all the time when you come to power. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. We are not little minds. We are very big minds, man.
All right,
and we just have to be consistent always. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for
putting this into perspective and sharing that context with us. I really appreciate.